Hello wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of the In the Ring Show with your host Devious Damien and my broadcast partner Devastating Deb. This is our review for tonight's SmackDown dated March 9th, 2012. So after the little video thing about the board of directors deciding that John Laurinaitis was going to be running SmackDown tonight, we get, Boronitis. And for anybody who wonders why I call him Boronitis, because he bores us to death. So we get a Otunga and Boronitis promo where Boronitis, he agrees with SmackDown fans and he basically says that he's the man to run SmackDown and Raw because Teddy Long's there giving him a steel cage title match to open the show, and that's exactly what he's going to do tonight, which leads us to what?
Santino versus Jack Swagger for the U.S. title.
As I said before, in the steel cage. So you get a pretty decent match here.
The best part was the ending.
Yeah, the ending was kind of a shock. I actually expected Santino to lose the belt due to
I did too.
to Boronitis screwing him out of it. But actually, it was Vicky who unintentionally screwed Jack Swagger out of.
And honestly, this entire episode had quite a few shocks in it.
Yeah.
What you expected isn't what actually happened.
Yeah, Santino actually retains the title here due to
Vicky not looking before acting.
Yeah, she made a mistake and slammed the cage door on Jack Swagger's head. So Santino retains.
Which was priceless.
Yeah. And Teddy Long then comes out and raises Santino's hand and they walk to the back together. So then we get
Drew McIntyre.
Actually, but before that...
Really? What was before that?
We got Boronitis and Teddy Long.
Like you said, it's Boronitis. I don't pay attention to him.
Basically challenging Teddy Long to a match, saying that if Long wins, it's going to be Oksana versus Kane later that night. And Long accepts, and before he challenged him, he tried to get Long to apologize. He tried to apologize, and Boronitis, that's not good enough. And I could talk about why I find Boronitis boring, but just watch one of his promos for a Fed called WXO. Once you find this promo, you'll see why I call him Boronitis. Enough said. So then, after that Boronitis and Long promo, as Devastating Deb was getting to, she jumped the gun a little bit, but that's okay. Then we get what?
Drew McIntyre saying, well, pretty much kissing ass to Boronitis for giving him an opportunity to get his job back.
And so, the match that they made you think was going to happen was the Great Khali versus Drew McIntyre. But then out comes David Otunga.
But first, McIntyre was, of course, overwhelmed with emotions when he saw Khali at first.
Yeah.
Because obviously he knew he couldn't beat him.
So then Otunga comes out, orders Khali out of the ring, and says...
Which I believe this is because McIntyre was kissing ass before this happened.
So, he says, you're not in this match tonight, just watch what happens. So then out comes Hornswoggle.
Which was the first mistake of the music tonight.
Yeah, that was the first music botch, because Hornswoggle got about halfway down the ramp before they finally hit his music. So basically, McIntyre punishes Hornswoggle, basically refusing to pin him like 2 or 3 different times.
Until the ref finally calls it.
Yeah, ref stops the match, which gave Drew McIntyre the victory. Then when it appeared that Drew McIntyre was going to do more damage to Hornswoggle, Great Khali comes in the ring, saves Hornswoggle, and basically runs McIntyre out of the ring.
Yeah, knocks him on his ass bad.
Yeah. But at least a victory for Drew McIntyre here.
Yeah.
So
hopefully it's a step in the right direction for WWE showing with McIntyre.
Right. So then...
Let's see, what was next?
Then we get the Oksana and Teddy Long segment, where Teddy is assuring Oksana, I've got this, don't worry about it. Because she's begging Long to, not win so she don't have to face Kane.
Which I thought that whole thing was bullshit anyways, that Boronitis would say that, hey Teddy, if you win, she's got to face Kane.
Yeah.
I thought that was a horrible move on WWE's part.
So,
just toward women in general.
Yeah, I agree. So then after this, we get, this match was so short and pointless, I'm not even sure I want to talk about it. You take it away.
Let's see, the Ezekiel Jackson versus Mark Henry match. Honestly, I don't remember what happened in that match. It was so quick. You close your eyes, it was over.
Well,
Ezekiel Jackson was doing good in the beginning. Well, not really in the beginning, more toward the middle.
the reason I call it short and pointless was Mark Henry basically squashes Ezekiel Jackson here in probably even under 5 minutes.
Had nothing to do with WrestleMania or nothing.
Yeah,
no storyline.
Yeah, it was just kind of a short, pointless match. You know, basically just to downgrade Ezekiel Jackson and to show how dominant Mark Henry still is, basically, is all this was supposed to do. So then we get Long and Boronitis heading to the ring for what came up after the break?
I'm not sure.
It was Long versus Boronitis.
Okay, I can't read your writing.
Yeah, if you sum up my writing, because I take notes so that way I can, do the review. So
Can any of you read this? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I can. But anyway, so as the match starts, Boronitis tells Long to lay down. Long says no. So then, Boronitis.
Had a good twist on it.
Yeah, Boronitis, brings out Kane. So then after that, Orton comes out, RKO's Kane, which takes Kane out of the equation. Long, Schoolboy's Boronitis for the victory. And boy, did this suck. And I'm not talking about the fact that Teddy Long won. That's not what I'm really talking about. I'm more talking about the fact that when Teddy Long Schoolboy Boronitis, it looked like
my God.
He made...
No sell?
Yeah, he basically laid there. He moved his leg a little
Literally
bit.
put his arms like this on the mat?
Yeah, and his legs were going like...
Looked up.
He wasn't he didn't look like he was frantically trying to get out, which... I'm sorry, if that's the kind of talent he had in the ring, boy, I'm glad I didn't see him very much. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, yeah.
So then, we get a tag team match. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus Epico and Primo, non-title match.
Of course. Why would it be a title match?
A pretty decent match, I thought. R-Truth and Kofi Kingston win here. Hopefully this makes them the #1 contenders for the tag titles.
It should, because I believe they beat them recently. Also.
Yeah, and I actually kind of hope that they kind of hold off on this on a title match. Only reason I say I hope they hold off on it, I kind of would like to see this at WrestleMania.
Well, I think they will wait until WrestleMania. I think that may be what they're building to, but they're not putting no story behind it, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, next. The interview. Pointless, in my opinion.
I agree.
Of course it was Michael Cole, so of course it was pointless. Everything he does is.
Pretty much.
But the people that he interviewed, I guess, upped it a little bit.
Yeah. They at least attempted to make this interesting by having WrestleMania opponents interviewed here. So Cole, he asked Daniel Bryan about luck. Daniel Bryan said it wasn't luck, that he won the World Heavyweight Championship. It wasn't luck when he beat both Big Show and Mark Henry at the Royal Rumble. It wasn't luck that he won the Elimination Chamber. It's based on skill, his healthy lifestyle, being a vegan, and blah, 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 blah.
And he told AJ to shut up.
Yeah, he told AJ to shut up.
That was a little bit later, but yeah. And, of course, Cole had to mention the luck of the Irish for Sheamus.
Yeah. And, basically kind of implied that Sheamus was lucky to win the Royal Rumble. Sheamus,
He played off and he said, yeah, okay, everyone has some luck.
Yeah, and then he basically said that AJ should be in a Catholic girls' school uniform, and said that she basically said she's the man of relationship.
But you then said, no, wait a minute, Daniel Bryan should be the one in the skirt.
Yeah, I was just getting to that part, but yeah, that was pretty funny. So then he calls Daniel Bryan, he calls him a wimp. Not in those exact words, but I'm not going to get into the big, long insult he basically threw out.
And then after the interview, they did something I wasn't too crazy about. You barely could tell the interview ended, and all of a sudden, here comes the next guy to come out for the match, the main event.
Yeah.
They just went straight into the final match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And in this interview was the second musical botch of the night. Because as Michael Cole was announcing Sheamus, I think they hit his music a little too early.
Before he even got to say the name Sheamus.
And, I think it caught Cole off guard. You could,
You could see it.
Yeah, well, what?
But, of course, it had to do with Sheamus being Irish. His music fucked up. Before that, Hornswoggle portrays an Irish leprechaun. His music fucked up. I'm saying you guys are being discriminatory.
Who knows? That's possible. So then Cody Rhodes comes out, before Sheamus can really finish what he was about to say. Which then leads us to the main event 6-man tag
Bell
team.
rings. They bring people out.
Yeah, 6-man tag match between Cody Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, and The Miz versus Sheamus, Big Show, and Randy Orton.
Where does Miz fit into this?
And
Randy Orton, actually.
Well, okay, I could... Actually,
Miz was the main oddball.
I question The Miz mostly because, okay, you got Cody Rhodes who's feuding with Big Show. You've got Daniel Bryan who's facing Sheamus at WrestleMania.
And you already knew one other person was going to come out at one point or another, which we will talk about later.
But, Miz was the oddball here. Because Miz isn't involved in any of this, at least as of yet.
Yes.
So,
I'm hoping they're working on that somewhere, but at the moment, this weekend, was it last week?
Yeah.
They did something with him, a match. Big Show?
Yeah, last week he faced Big Show, but I
Where
thought...
are they going with it?
I don't know. Like, at first I thought maybe they were just using The Miz to forward the Big Show and Cody Rhodes storyline. But now that they've thrown The Miz in the match, in this match, it kind of makes me wonder.
Yeah, I hope they don't try making anything a triple threat with him, because it just wouldn't add up right now.
Yeah, so then, after Randy Orton picks up the pin, after pinning The Miz, then Kane comes out, and Randy Orton and Kane brawl into the stands.
This was after Cody Rhodes already ran off.
Yeah,
because Big Show went after
him. Yeah,
him.
Big Show and Cody Rhodes basically... Big Show chased Cody Rhodes into the back. And then Randy Orton and Kane brawl after Orton's team had won.
You forgot to mention the part where Miz was getting his ass kicked. He tagged in Cody Rhodes. And as soon as Miz got back up on the apron, Cody Rhodes tagged him back in because he didn't want to face Big Show.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes did spend a lot of time running from the Big Show in this match. Which actually, you might be surprised to hear me say this, but I'm actually kind of a fan of that. Only because, WWE is actually being smart here.
Yeah.
They're not giving away something that they know you're going to pay for. One match you pay for to see at WrestleMania for free. So
but in a way, they did make him look scared with he was like, okay, and then all of a sudden tagged.
Yeah.
Miz. So you're left wondering, okay, is he just being smart and saving himself, or is he being a coward?
Or, option C, is he just making the Big Show think he's scared of him and letting Big Show
playing
think...
head games?
Yeah,
which is what he's been doing?
Yeah.
The WrestleMania moments?
Yeah, letting Big Show think that he's got the psychological edge, and then Cody just lowers the boom on WrestleMania. Will that happen? It remains to be seen.
It's WWE.
Right. Which, I don't see them letting Big Show have the IC title. I don't see that happening. And I like the fact that in the Orton and Kane brawls as of late, you ever notice that there's no clear-cut advantage? Like, nobody definitively wins the brawl. And I actually think that's a good thing, because if that's what they're going to do at WrestleMania, neither one should really dominate the other.
I was kind of surprised how long SmackDown showed the two of them fighting at the end.
Yeah. I
thought they would cut it a little bit sooner.
Yeah, me too. I actually like the Raw and SmackDown shows that they're doing as of late, because it's a good lead-in for WrestleMania. They're really setting up WrestleMania really nicely, I think.
You're feeling a little hint back from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, you're starting to get some of that again, and I'm hoping that WrestleMania is like the harbinger, like it really just starts it again. And I'm hoping that they do it, that's where they're going with the Hell in the Cell. I'm hoping for that, so I hope they follow up with that. Anyway.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. But, anyway, let us know what you thought of tonight's SmackDown in the comments below.
What do you grade it?
Oh, yeah,
We're almost out of time, but we didn't grade real quick.
We didn't grade it. Okay, I'll give tonight's show a B+.
That's what I was thinking also.
Yeah.
It was pretty steady the whole way through. I was worried after it started with a cage match, but it stayed pretty steady.
I think the only match I really thought was kind of stupid.
Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry and Ezekiel Jackson. Short, pointless. I really didn't feel like...
Yeah.
We could have done without that, I think.
It felt like a filler match.
Yeah, it basically did. But anyway, yeah, so we both give it a B+. So as I was saying before, comments down below here.
And stay tuned for Raw this next week for Rock Concert versus Cena rapping.
Yeah, and HBK is back as his taker again for Raw, so that should be pretty interesting.
Leave comments.
Yep, leave comments. Let us know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. For the In the Ring show, I'm Devious Damien. This is Devastating Deb. And we wish we could be as cool as Off the Rope Show.
He does.
Good night, everybody.
I already am.